Good afternoon, guys, or depending on when you see this video, good morning, good evening, etc. I am founder of the Life Unit Inc. Chris, this is my wife and co-founder.
Hello.
April. And today we're doing an intro to business class. We wanted to definitely get up here because there's been a lot of people reaching out, not just in our circle, but people that see some of the things we're doing on the internet, and they're like, hey, let us get some information. And we pride ourselves on extending the things that we've learned. We never claim to be better than anyone, or beneath anyone at the same time. We've learned through our experience. We've made some mistakes, we've had some successes, and today we're going to talk about the paperwork side of business, and then we're going to get into some things, basically what you need to be thinking about after the actual business is set up and established. You want to go ahead and get into it, my beautiful?
Yes.
All right.
So, good afternoon, everybody. There's going to be a couple of things that I go over. More specifically, there's going to be about 8 points that I'm going to hit, and then Chris is going to take over the other half of this class. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share some screens with you all. This is how I kind of get started. When you are going into business, the first thing that you always want to think about is it a lucrative business idea? Is it a lucrative plan? One of the things that I really delved into when creating Lasting Layers of Beauty Institute, it was a brand that I had already established years ago. It was the brand name that I had went by when I was just doing hair, just my story personally. So I have been utilizing the Lasting Layers of Beauty name from Indiana. It's traveled with me all the way to Georgia. And one of the things I wanted to do is make sure that this was the business that I wanted to be in, because one thing you don't want to do is start investing hundreds and then thousands of dollars into a brand just to allow it to fail. So the first thing you want to do is this a business that's lucrative? Is this something that I would do for free if I was not getting paid for it? That's the biggest question that you have to ask yourself. Is it something that you would do if you were to just volunteer your time to do it? And that way it doesn't just become work. Okay. In the state of Georgia, it's pretty easy to start your own business in the state of Georgia. You can actually do it from home. I know other states are different. I'm originally from Michigan. In Michigan, you have to either mail it in or you would have to go to Lansing, the capital, in order to start the business. So for us in Georgia, we're able to log on into the state's website. And I'm going to show you how I navigate the state website in the state of Georgia. If you have a specific business that you want to operate out of and you need specific advice to your state, you can always contact Chris or myself, and we can do a consultation. We can set it up for you and get you going your own business in your state. Shout out to everybody that's saying hi. If you do have questions, please put them in the chat. I'll be happy to answer some of those questions at the end of this segment that I'm just going to go in for about 20 minutes. If it's questions pertaining to the screen that I'm on and you need me to go into more detail about a specific state, anything, please stop, ask the question, and I'll try to slow it down just a little bit because it's just my teaching style. And sometimes I get into teaching mode and I want to make sure that you understand because I am a teacher. So if we can just get started. Let me see. Was it hard to find lending? I'll get into lending a little bit later.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
And just so you know, we're going to get into the information. And then once she's done with her portion, she'll jump on, start responding to some of the questions in the chat. I don't want to reach over her to do so.
Yeah.
And then if there's any like specific questions, we're going to make sure you guys have our information at the end where you can email as well.
And I'm just going to utilize some of the steps for just a basic business. Myself, I started, I was a part of a record company when I was 18 years old. So I have done some things. I've also done some things with the voter registration, so some state governmental type of things. I've also been able to access and utilize funding from different resources. So doing letters, getting letters prepared for things like lending, those are things that we can talk about in a different separate segment. But I'm just going to start off with just basic business setup, just a basic business setup. Rather you wanted a t-shirt company, rather you wanted to do music, because somebody said something about copyrights. Copyrights is totally different. I would have to do a class on copyrights, trademarks, and things like that. And that's a totally separate entity. So I'm just going to focus on the regular business structure, from just the normal taxpayer that's normally paying taxes, whether you have children, you don't, whether you're married, you're not married. This is just to start a small business, okay? Which is big business, by the way. All right. So I'm going to start by just checking. Can you fix that phone right there, please? Checking the website and making sure that your business name is not taken. So with Lasting Layers of Beauty, let's just say there was another beauty institute with the same name in a different state. Legally, I could still operate in the United States of America as an entity with the same name as somebody else in a different state. However, the laws will be applicable to them in whatever state they reside in, and the laws are applicable to me in the state of Georgia. But in the state of Georgia, my entity can only carry this one name. It varies state by state. So you can have the same name, same entity in a different state, operated differently, and it could be, you know, the same name, but it still wouldn't matter. As long as you are in that one state operating under that name, that's all that matters. So I'm going to start here with the state of Georgia's website. I'm going to share. All right. So Chris, you know, is sharing this way, but it's okay. I know you all can hear my voice. I do apologize. If you guys are on live, you can actually stream and see exactly what I'm doing.
Set it up so we can
Yeah.
bring it back to StreamYard for me.
Okay.
Bear with us, y'all. Okay, there you go.
Okay. All right. So, but I have to. I can't go.
Oh no, you
see what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. All right. You all can see me. I can't see you. It's all good. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here to business, and I'm going to look up and see exactly, does anybody even have my name? Okay. I'm going to search for a business. So I'm going to put in Lasting Layers of Beauty. This is public information. So anybody can do this in their state. This is just the way that we do it down here in Georgia. I'm putting in my business name.
And they can still see us.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And you'll see this one says Lasting Layers of Beauty Salon LLC. It was actually a salon first before it became a school, but I'm going to click the old one just so you can see it. And it just shows a domestic limited liability company. It actually says active in compliance. And as you can see, the business information is actually the school information because it was updated. So it shows it's the same entity. And I'm just going to go back so you can see. Let's see. Yep. So I click this one. It's the same. I'm going to click the top one. It's the same. So everything shows up. It shows the NACIS code is educational services, because when I file taxes, I have to be under a specific tax bracket. And I also want to write off certain tax things. So I'm going to talk about that once I get to the tax part of the conversation. But it shows my NACIS code so I can identify. This also helps us because we're going into the accreditation process with us having a school. So that's very important. But you do have to have a specific code. This code, if you were selling t-shirts, it may say apparel or apparel sales or something like that. But there has to be a specific NACIS code to identify your business and what you're actually doing, how you're making your money. All right. So I'm going to switch back over here to, no, I didn't want to go here yet. StreamYard. Okay. So we're still, I'm going to back out of this. I'm going to back out of this. All right. So the reason I was looking that business name up is because when you actually start your business, you want to make sure that the name has not been taken. All right. So with the life unit, even that, this is a company that was just started, and it says domestic nonprofit corporation. Okay. Registered agent. I will come up as the registered agent. The registered agent is just the person who will receive mail in the event that somebody were to enter a judgment against you. So you got to have somebody where the mail can go to no matter what. It can be yourself. Before I was married, it actually said registered agent April Donahue. So that's my maiden name. Sometimes it'll come up as April Willers. But aside from him being the actual owner of the business, you need to have somebody in position and in place to be able to actively participate with the mail that may be coming from the government. Rather, it's just anything. It could be anything, but tax purposes, you have to have something. Another thing is the principal officer's address needs to be separate from your home address. So I may use a different address. Okay, so I'm going to go back. All right. I'm going to stop sharing this tab for just a second because I'm going to go into determining the business type. What type of business do you want? Once you know what type of business you're going to go into, you need to know what type of entity you're actually going to start. Rather it is a LLC, rather it is a S corporation, rather it is a C corporation, rather it's a sole proprietorship. You need to know what type of business it's going to be, okay? So I'm going to just take you over to the IRS website. We are still going to go back to the Georgia website because I'm going to show you how to register your business. But in order to understand how you're going to register your business, we're going to go over to the IRS website. The IRS website is just www.irs.gov. It's good to go to this website so you can just get up on all the latest tax credits and everything. Okay. Let me go to, because I was not trying to be on this screen. I'm going to go to home. And then here, I'm going to go to apply for an employer identification number. Okay. So everybody that has a business has to have a EIN number. That is just the short-term version for employer identification number. Okay. Your EIN is like a social security number for your business. So it's very important to have it. You can file for it the same day that you file for your business. The only difference is when doing so, if somebody does have that name and you have not done your due diligence and you have filed that EIN number, you don't want it to be attached to someone else's entity.
I'm not sure if you're sharing the screen. Can we double check?
Let's see.
Yeah.
I apologize, you all. Let me make sure I'm back in here. Okay. All right. So now you all can see. Okay. So this is the employer identification. This is at irs.gov. And I'm actually going to go down to corporations. All right. So we have under corporations, it says e-file for large business and international. It says large business. It has S corporations down here. It's just showing you the different type of corporations you can have. Most people prefer LLC, which is a limited liability company. And I'm looking for it on here because this is just preparing your taxes. I do apologize because I did have it on the right screen before I started sharing, but businesses and self-employed. Okay, here it is. All right. So it says business type. So we have the sole proprietorship. We have a partnership. We have a C Corp, which is a corporation. And then we have an S Corp, which is an S corporation. Down here at the bottom, we have limited liability company, which is an LLC. So most people decide to engage with an LLC because it is the least amount of responsibility if you were to get hit with anything. With a lien, with a judgment against you, it would be a little bit easier to kind of get around. And it says, depending on elections made by the LLC and the number of members, the IRS will treat an LLC as either a corporation, partnership, or as part of the LLC's owner's tax return. So when you have an LLC, you can file your taxes for your businesses on which is called a Form Schedule C. And that Form Schedule C is going to give you the opportunity to make deductions and or write-offs for the business under your normal tax return. So for me, it's the simplest way to be able to keep track of the numbers, any profit or loss. You do have to create a P&L statement or a profit and loss statement in order to attach it to your Schedule C if needed. If you do your own taxes, you're going to need it for yourself. And if not, you're going to need it for the tax preparer. So this is your LLC, or this is the classification of having an LLC. I'm going to go back. Nope. It says single member limited liability companies. It also says LLC filing as a corporation or a partnership. So there are different types of LLCs that you can have. Okay. Let's go out of this. All right. We have a partnership. It tells you it's 2 people or more for a partnership. So it's always easier to start a business with just one person and put someone under your payroll versus, starting a business together. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. It takes a large step. So when you select what type of business you're going to go into, make sure that if you're going for a partnership, that person's going to stick around. If not, you just need to have a single LLC. In that way, you can just take care of your portion of it. That person can take care of their portion of it, or one person would be designated to handle the tax purposes for your business. Okay. But this is the easiest way. The easiest way, start your business search. If you have picked a name and it sticks, that's fine. Determine your name, file your business. All right. So now that I know, okay, I'm going to go into a single member LLC. I'm going to stop sharing this. I'm going to go back over here. We're going to go back to the business page. That's okay. We can go here first, and then we can go. Okay. All right. So if I want to start the business, I'm going to go here where it says business, and I'm going to go to the corporations division. All right. So on this business page, this corporation business, it says you can start a business and then also complete an annual registration. So even if you start a business on 12/30, the day that you file for your business is the date that your business starts. Even if the file has not been processed, the date that you file for your business is the start date of your business. So as long as you have filed on a certain date, that is the start date. And that's why it's better to go ahead, select your EIN, pick out that on the same date as your business being created, because you don't want to get in trouble for anything legally as far as tax purposes. Okay. So here it has a how-to guide, how to register an entity. This is just for the state of Georgia only. Again, I'm just doing this site. And then it says register online. So I can go right here and register online. One-click annual registration with no changes. This is if I only want to update it. With the state of Georgia, you have to register your corporation, and also you have to have a login created so that you can just go in here, click for your annual registration. This will be due every year between January 1st and April the 1st. You have to go ahead and sign on and do your annual registration, and it's $50. For the state of Georgia, in order to start the business, it's $100. Every year after, it's $50 to keep your business in good standing. One thing is you don't ever want to have a lapse in your business date or a renewal lapse, because your business credit could be very greatly affected by that lapse in date. You always want to have a business in good standing, because this is how you can establish business credit. I'm not only able to get business credit from the merchant that I utilize all purchases through, but that is just one place that I can start there and get a loan. I can establish good business credit with an account such as Uline. Maybe you're doing food and maybe you have an account with US Foods or something like that. But you want to have a good business account in good standing, paying your bills on time, so that you can get a line for your business credit, and that'll be in the future. But this is where you want to go in order to get your online service or your business established. Okay, so with the state of Georgia, you actually have a customer login. You can see Chris, his login is there. I'm not going to use his. Let me see if I can, if it'll remember my old. Maybe I'll just go into you.
To some of the questions that
are
asked too, just so you know.
Okay, and I'm almost done. I'm trying to get through this part so Chris can hop on. This is his dashboard, and it has all the different things that he may need to do in order to amend any documents. One day we're going to do a class, and I can kind of break down the articles of incorporation. But articles of incorporation is actually filed the time that you file the name of your business. Let's see. So once you have created your account, this says create or register a business. It's going to walk you through. They're going to ask you, is this going to be a new business or is this going to be a foreign business? I'm creating a new business. It's going to ask me to select the business type. I'm going to select the business type. For us, I'm just going to select a standard LLC. Okay. It's going to ask me, do I have a business reservation number? Some people go in and they do a business reservation for the name that they would like. Again, if you do a search, a business search, you can bypass a $25 reservation request because you've already searched in the system. You see that the name doesn't exist. Just pick your name. Have a backup name in mind, because the likelihood of somebody registering a business with the same name in the same state at the same date is going to be nearly to impossible. So you're going to skip that. You're going to go down to reservation number. I hit no. I can put the business name that I want it to be, the second choice business name. It's saying if applicable, upload a letter of name approval. You don't have to. You can skip this part. And then this is the part that I was talking about as far as the business purpose. You do have to have a NAICS code. So I'm just going to go down here and just check something maybe easy. Let's see. I was talking about T-shirts earlier. Maybe I can find this one. Manufacturing. All right. And what is this that I can manufacture? This one says cat and sew apparel contracts, cut and sew apparel. Okay. So maybe I make clothes, and this is what I have picked. This is my NAICS code. The formation state is already there. Principal officer is going to be the main point of contact for your business. It does not have to be the executive director or the chairman or the CEO, these type of titles. It could be just a person. Maybe it's your mom. Maybe she doesn't have anything to do with the business, but you do need a principal officer involved as the point of contact for all times as it relates to the business. Okay. Also put here, determine the tax bracket. How will you file taxes? So if you are a person that, is married, or maybe you are the person who carries the least amount of tax liability, these are the things that you want to establish. Who is going to carry the business as far as tax purposes if you're going into business with somebody else? If you're going into business with yourself, you're good. Don't worry about it. Just file a Schedule C. Under your taxes, you're going to create a P&L statement, which is a profit and loss statement, to make sure that you can write off all the deductions that you need, and you're going to add it to your overall tax return. Once you have gone through this and it says continue, I'm not going to hit continue because we're not really doing a new business. Then we're going to go over there to the IRS website. Let me see, share this tab instead. And from this place, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go home and I'm going to apply for an EIN number. And it says blah, 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 determine your eligibility. Step 2, understand the online application. Step 3, submit your application. So once you hit apply now, it says EIN assistant is currently down. Once you apply, stop sharing. Once you apply for your EIN, you have to download it right away. So if you're working, one of the people that would like to work on your computer all the time, make sure that you're in a place where you can download the document. It will not be emailed to you. It cannot be just directly printed out. You need to save that document so you can print it later because you'll only get one. Okay. Make sure you pay your taxes on time, please, because it depends on what type of entity you have. So if you have an S corporation, you're going to have to pay yours quarterly versus somebody that has an LLC where you're only going to have to pay your taxes once a year. So that's why people like to have an LLC. It's limited liability, meaning if anything happens, the least amount of things could happen to you as a repercussion if you're being negligent in your responsibilities as a business owner. Your yearly annual fees. You can write off things like your annual fees. You can write off any type of license fees that you have. You can write all of these off in your Schedule C. Anything that it takes to maintain that business, a lot of these things you can actually write off. Your business credit, Dun & Bradstreet. So I'm going to go here. Do I already have it up? All right. Let's go over here. It might be
in the tab, in the share tab, when you go to present.
Mm-hmm.
You might have it.
Oh, okay. All right. So Dun & Bradstreet. Your Dun & Bradstreet number, this is your social security number, or this is your FICO score basically for your business. Okay. You want to have a good Dun & Bradstreet number. You do want to enroll your business on Dun & Bradstreet because you don't know who's looking at you later. It's no different than being a professional in a corporate setting and you want to have a LinkedIn page because you want to be noticed. So it's the same here. You can, I don't know why I brought up marketing, but all right. So I'm going to log in. Come on.
I think it's sharing still.
It said, okay, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all see it. Okay. All right, so I'm going to log in and I'm just going to show you just some really videos of just how to get this going on. Okay. It shows the company profile to the side. You guys can see. This says update your Dun & Bradstreet business information for free. I'm just trying to see if I can still show this without too much. Blah, blah, blah. All right. And I apologize, you all, for like the dead air. I'm just bringing up this information. Okay. So it says your company profile on the DNB business directory. Start managing your business credit profile. Dun's Manager offers a way to view and update the company information in your Dun & Bradstreet business credit profile for free. This is good because people can look and see the business track record, see that I'm making paying all my invoices on time, showing that the business has been in good standing. It has never been into a lax status as far as for renewals every year. So every year that I'm not A, taking credit, B, not paying bills on every year. I'm paying bills on time. Every year it's adding more value to my business because I'm just leaving it alone. It's just growing. We haven't closed. I haven't declared bankruptcy or debt or anything. So it's just literally just growing. The business is just growing on paper for what they can see. Okay. And let me see. I was trying to see if you guys could see any of my scores, but I can't really get into anything else. So I'm just going to leave it at this. All right. And so this is the way it looks. I was trying to see if you could see anything good. But I will allow you all because I kind of want to wrap this up so Chris can jump in. But it says looking for a credit report on Lasting Layers of Beauty Institute. So I have my own business credit profile. If another entity that I was looking to get a big loan from, they could look at us, view our profile, and they would have the information that they needed to make a better determination on whether or not they would be able to finance the business in any way. And then the last thing that I wanted to wrap up is, do you need a sales tax number? Okay. A lot of people, if you get a sales tax number, you can be sales tax exempt for many things. This goes from hotel stays. You wouldn't have to pay that sales tax to the grocery stores. You would not have to pay that sales tax because you would be filing a sales tax you would be filing this sales tax monthly. Here in the state of Georgia, you have to do it monthly. You have to report a record of everything that you have spent and not pay the sales tax on. But in turn, it allows you to buy from wholesale, get better pricing on wholesale, and not have to worry about paying the taxes overall and just paying the taxes monthly, like one set rate. So look into a sales tax license if that's something that you're looking to get into. I don't recommend it because it's so hard to keep up with. I'm just being honest, because you do have to keep up with it monthly. I know here in the state of Georgia you do. So other than that, I'm going to, do you want me to answer questions now, or you want to jump in and
switch? We're gonna hold questions.
Okay, all right.
You can respond on the chat if you want.
Okay.
To the questions. Can you bring back StreamYard for me?
Yeah.
All right.
And hopefully this is helping somebody. So far, so good, y'all.
Hopefully.
All right. There you go.
All right. And thank you.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and co-founder just went over a lot of the paperwork, a lot of the foundation. I want to stress this. If you don't know paperwork, if you're not the paperwork person, get somebody on your team that you can trust, that can operate, and that you have to know the laws, you have to know the rules, you have to know what's going on, so your business can be in good standing, not just open up, but continue to be in good standing. So, as she said, she went over, basically business startup, the initial stages, how to get your LLC, etc. Now, going to touch in or get into, you have your business now. So what? The next part, which oftentimes I feel like we don't always think about. We're so excited and absorbed in the initial thought of having a business, and we're like, hey, we're going to get an LLC and our EIN number, and we don't think about the first 12 months of that business in operation, right? So I want to get into that part. I know one of the questions that was asked in one of the other chats is what other topics or classes you might do in the future. We always want to teach from a place of what we know and what we've experienced. We never want to be the people that teach, they read out a book and then try to regurgitate it. So we can teach on real estate because we are in the real estate game. We can teach on nonprofit. We can teach on credit. What else can we teach on? I don't know. We can touch on a few things. So you guys just let us know, and we'll be able to let you know if we can touch on it or not.
Brick and mortar startups.
Brick and mortar startup, brand development, all of that. So now we're about to get into this right now. Part 2 of what I consider for this business class. The first and foremost thing I would say is what I kind of just touched on is budget and forecast prediction, or your ability to sustain your business. All right. Initially, what most people think about is that first number, what it takes to get the business started, but they're not thinking about sustainability. Why are we often not thinking about sustainability? I'm going to tell you the number one mistake that most first generation entrepreneurs make is that they believe that they're going to get support from their family and friends to the place that it's going to sustain their business and they're going to be okay. And unfortunately, that's not the truth. Maybe not because they don't want to support your business, but everybody's not obligated. Geographically, they might not be able to get to your location. Hey, financially, it might make more sense over. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But that is not a sustained model for business. So I always tell people and always stress people because of things we learn. You've got to look at your budget in a few phases when you first start your business. Phase one is the initial investment. What is the initial investment that it takes to open door? That could include your lease.
Yeah.
That could include, and please chime in at any given. I ain't chime in on your stuff because you're the professional. I'm the assistant over there, but you can chime in on this stuff too. But you got your lease, you got your initial equipment, you got any other additional costs like operating fees, etc. Especially if you're in a brick and mortar side. We've been learning about that lately. And you've got your basically what I call is your everyday overhead fees, right? When you start a business, oftentimes you may or may not have a staff. That's got to be considered into the budget. You may not make money for the first month or two. That needs to be considered into the budget, which means you have to find a way to sustain, or what I say, stay alive, stay afloat for the first 90 days. That's so detrimental. So do a predictability schedule when it comes to your budget. Ask yourself, look at your budget. What does it take to keep the doors open? Utilities, operating expenses, staff, etc. You know what I'm saying? What is it that I need to do or to keep open for 1 month? Just those basic numbers. And then a simple cheat code is to multiply that basic 1 month budget into 12 and multiply that. That's going to be the low end or the low number that you're going to be spending on your business, because there's so many uncontrolled variables out there. And I have to stress this because a lot of us are first generation entrepreneurs. We come from poverty. We don't come from wealth. We come from, family members that didn't have the same opportunities as we did, because times have changed and we're more aggressive in this time, in this age, when it comes to entrepreneurship. So you have to have the capital. Somebody asked in the chat, and I'm going to touch on it really quick. Was it hard to find lending and what not to get started? I want to dispel this. I just want to say this in simplistic terms. A lot of us that are starting businesses, we're coming from a place where we weren't necessarily financially empowered, and our credit might not be the best. So it's going to be hard to get lending off top, especially for your business. So you got to be creative. Yeah. You can think about things like partnership. I'm going to be honest, I'm not too big on it. But hey, you can think about things, temporary contracts. You can think about building relationships with potential investors. You can look at things like that. Or you can go the old school route and just take the time to establish your credit, your business credit. I always tell people, get with the credit union. Shout out to Woodward Navy Federal, all that good stuff, man. Get somewhere where once you're doing business with them, you'll have options and you'll have access to potential funding for your business.
Can I say something? Can I chime in
this
part? I think that a lot of times we don't plan, and when we fail to plan, we literally plan to fail. So with Lasting Layers of Beauty, for instance, it's been in motion since 2008. This is not something that I just thought about in 2022 or 2021 when we signed the lease. I did everything in stages. So me personally, it was get my credit in order, my own personal credit, because although you may be starting a business, like if you say, oh, my credit is bad, I'm just going to go dip off into my business credit. That's okay, but you still have to go back and clean that up, because you're going to need it. They're going to pull your record for references if you do a brick and mortar. If you do have to get a loan, even on the business side of it, they may still pull your individual credit. So you still want to do everything step by step. Pull your credit up. You can do a free credit report on yourself at the annualcreditreport.com. Literally, you can pull it for free. Not the free annualcreditreport.com. Not the one that say free and then charge you $19. I'm talking about annualcreditreport.com. Maybe I should put it in the chat, the correct one.
Yeah.
Let me just bring it up real
Help
quick.
us out in the chat. This is why we're doing it live, y'all. We having the class. Thank y'all for everybody checking in. Please share this too, guys. Anybody that may be able to utilize this information.
What is it? It's annual
credit report. Or yeah, what was it?
Yeah.
Annual credit report.
All right, it's not that. It's this. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm doing it.
No, you're good.
All right. So this is the only one that is free. It say don't be fooled by lookalikes. It is annualcreditreport.com.
Cheat code.
So what you want to do is you don't have to pull all three because you have access to it for free for one whole year. So maybe pull Experian or Equifax. Pull it in 3 months or maybe 4. Divide the rest of the year up in another 4 months. Pull another one. See how you're doing on that one. Wait another 4 months. Pull TransUnion. See how you're faring on that one. Like, you don't have to necessarily do the same thing all the time. Like, just don't pull the whole 3. Like, have a plan. You have to create a plan. It's so important to do things in stages. You can't rush every single thing because before you know it, you'll be overwhelmed and you'll be more in debt. Yeah. So if you go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to focus on this part, at least maybe this year, I'm just going to clean up my credit, meaning I'm going to clean up my bills. I'm going to get with a credit union. In Georgia, you can get with Georgia's own credit union. They have what's called a cash now loan. It's a personal loan. As long as you have direct deposit, you can get a $300 loan or a $500 loan. It reports to the credit. So they take it out of your direct deposit. It reports to the credit bureaus. It's on your account. It could be that $500 loan could be paid off in 6 months. They break it down, but guess what? You're building credit because you're paying it back for money that you borrowed from the bank that you know that's going to be there. It's an on-time guarantee thing that helped me to establish my credit back. And that came from, and I would take the money and I will put it just on bills that I owed. So it has to be a step-by-step process and it takes time. It's not necessarily the best thing to just wipe out all your bad debt because you need debt. You need to show your ability to pay. Being able to receive credit from lenders is based on your ability to pay. So you need to have a credit card on file for 8 years with all on-time payments, never paying anything late. So if that means you have a $300 credit limit, stick to that $300 credit limit. Let them increase your income yearly. You can get an income increase to 500. That 500 is going to change to 7. That 7 is going to change to 9 and so forth and so on. But you have to start somewhere. You can't just start, let me get $1,000. That $1,000 going to be gone so quick.
Yeah, it's bigger. Not to discourage anybody, do it. Go forward, get it done. Be an entrepreneur, be your own boss, but understand the steps that need to be done. Everybody doesn't have $1 million in capital running around where they can just throw it at a project. So for some of us, we got to take a little bit longer of a path, but it's okay because it can still be done. Our school was opened in 2021. 2021.
Technically, we signed the lease December 21st, 2021, and then we didn't open until 2/22/2022. But even with that, remember, we had a whole period of 3 months where we weren't going to be in operation.
Yeah.
So that had to be factored into the budget when it comes to brick and mortar. So you may actually have to ask whoever owns the building or the property that you're going to reside in for an allotment. So you have to have an allowance to be able to operate and get the building prepared. Maybe they'll give you a 30-day allowance. Maybe they'll give you 60 days.
Yeah.
These are things that you have to be able to negotiate when you're dealing with a standalone or, you know, a brick and mortar type of business. Where are your negotiation tactics? Because if you're not able to put that in the budget, you're going to just be sitting on property. You're not bringing any money in. How are you going to be able to maintain while the building is getting ready? So these are the things that you have to consider.
Because I want to say this to that, when you open up a brick and mortar, it's
Yeah.
much different than having a brand or, you know, a business like a mobile business where you can pull up. But when you have a brick and mortar, there's basically two starting points financially.
Yeah.
It's the day you sign the lease, because they're not concerned with when you're opening your business. They're concerned with when you sign the lease, because that's when your money's due.
Right.
You're on the clock. So you're working against your initial clock, because now that you sign the lease, you pay your money. Now you can start getting your business ready. So here comes the money. You're dumping money into your business, and then you finally open. And if you hopefully you got business, you know, day one, you know, at the door, but it could be another month or two, depending on the type of business. For us, we opened a school from scratch, which means we 0 students, which means we're gonna get into that into these next joint. Can I
Yeah.
bet. But I'm glad you definitely touched on that. Because I think a lot of times we fall in love with the idea and we don't understand the work behind it.
Yeah.
So the last little piece I would just say is, when you're thinking about budget, forecast, prediction, sustainability, is realistically, how are you going to make your money? How are you going to make your money? I'm blessed with the opportunity to get these calls and these emails and sitting on these conversations where people have these amazing business ideas, way better than any of the ones I've ever had. And there's no doubt in my mind they're going to be successful. But oftentimes they just have the initial piece. So when I start asking them questions about how will you make your money for the first 12 months, what's your foolproof plan, even though there isn't one, but what is the plan you're gonna execute? We can't answer that a lot of times. So that's the last piece for budget, predictability, sustainability, is how will you make your money, and being very realistic with yourself. Hey, we want our business to open the door and hit the grand slam day one, but guess what? We might got to get a single, load the bases, take our time, you know what I'm saying, until we start scoring runs, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Somebody just had a question. This question, if one is able to obtain an allotment, should it be in writing? Yes.
Everything.
Everything must be in writing, and that's going to come with the initial agreement that you receive with the lease. It should be written up in such that way. We were able to get 30 days. I tried to negotiate 60. But at the same time, we were only we got it done in 60 days. So
that was a good question too.
Yeah,
that was a good question about that.
As far as the times, you definitely want to incorporate that. It was something I was going to touch on too, Chris, because you said as far as the opening time and the actual opening.
Just those 2 start dates.
Yeah, just those 2 start dates. Just being realistic about how much time is needed. Oh, this is what I was going to say. I was going to utilize this as an example. You have to know the laws for every state too. So a lot of people have always asked me, I get this question probably once or twice a year. Hey, Miss April, I would like to open up a mobile salon. Hey, Miss April, I would like to open up a mobile barbershop. Now, the thing about this is there are things that we can do, and then there are things that we can do by law. Okay, so legally, I cannot have a barbershop or a salon that's on wheels because I cannot register it as an entity. If it is not in a standalone building, rather that means a home, it cannot be on wheels. And when you do your research of the law, you have to know what you can do and what you can't. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't operate and you can't be a mobile stylist. Right? I can be a mobile stylist, but for if I needed it for tax purposes, or if I wanted to get some other type of write-off, or if I needed to be a standalone business, or if I needed to register that mobile thing as a business, I could not. I would still need a physical location in order to open up that mobile or that rolling salon. I would need a standalone location. So that may be good for me for the moment to spend $15,000 buying a trailer, hooking it up, making sure that it's mobile. However, I have to think about, is that going to be good for me down the line if I can't have a certificate in black and white for that business? So I'm just using it as an example. I'm not saying people don't do it. It's cool, to each his own, but you have to think about in depth, how far am I able to legally make this money so that the details that I put on paper, is that going to be able to work for me when it comes to getting these taxes done? And this is something that I wrestle with and think about when I'm formulating the business plan. Because I don't want to go into business, pay this $100, get this EIN, turn around, pay this filing fee, do these taxes, get a tax preparer just to do Schedule C for me to turn back around and have to dissolve the company in 6 months because I decide this is something I don't want to do no more.
Yeah.
Like, you need to determine that before you even file. Before you say, I want to file my entity for this $100 or $150, depending on the state that you're in, you would need to know, hey, this is what I want to do. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. We got a couple of...
Yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and get into the rest of these. We've been up here for an hour. I know I always want to keep these around an hour because I know you guys are busy. But I want to get the rest of this information in, and then we're going to get to the rest of your questions. Either you can start answering via chat right now if you want, so we don't have to do it verbally. You can just type in. She's going to respond to some of the questions on the chat because she can type faster than mine. I'm going to hit the rest of these points. Can you take that back down off the screen?
Okay.
Yeah.
See, maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
No, you're good. You can just respond straight to whatever you see. Just answer them, or we can switch out or whatever. But again, you guys will be able to email us. I'll make sure that email is up and available. We're gonna try to answer as many of your questions as we can and get to the rest of this information, so we don't hold you guys hostage all day. That's it, man. Thank you for rocking out with us. And please, 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 again, all the information we're giving you is through learned experience. I want to stress that. It's through things that we've learned through our experiences. The next thing I want to talk about outside of budget, forecast, prediction, sustainability, and if April wants to continue, chiming in, is staff, team, etc. Staff, team, etc. You got to be realistic with your business model. A lot of times we have these business ideas, and we don't think about the moving parts and what it takes. I remember I started Chicago Eats and Treats with my right hand Ace, and man, my wife was fussing me out because she was in the kitchen with us too. It was successful. It did what it did what it did.
It was good food.
Right. But what are they saying? BOI.
I'm asking right now.
Yeah, but
a trust.
Okay. But I didn't know exactly how many people I would need to carry out the task in order for the business to be successful. So when you're thinking about your staff, team, etc., be realistic. Hey, guess what? Your cousin might not want to volunteer 5 days out the week because they're not getting paid for it. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? You might need to hire somebody initially. Maybe you can do it all yourself. Maybe you can get help from the people around you. But be realistic with your team. Once you have your staff built, whether it's a 1-man job, 2-man job, etc., then you can establish your expectations to what your business can actually accomplish. You never want to sell or get a false dream, false idea. So once you build your team into your expectations, now you can present in, hey, this is what we can do to the consumer or to the potential consumer. We have constant situations or moments, within our school. An instructor may be on leave, a student may be out. We have to do an assessment, and we have to be able to communicate that to our clients or whoever calls in, our students, instructors, etc., so they know exactly what they're facing when they're walking into the business and what we can realistically provide. Of course, we give them an option, hey. But again, this is a key piece. And another thing I want to say, another aspect is this, man, when you start your business, the initial thought is I want to include everybody. I want to bring everybody along for the ride and the journey to be a part of this.
Wrong thought.
You cannot. Business is not personal, and everybody's not going to be driven the same way that you are.
Yeah.
Everybody's not going to understand your vision, and everybody's not going to care for your dream the way that you are. Identify the people that are threats, whether directly, indirectly. You know, sometimes people are negative or bad for a situation without even knowing it. Identify the people that can benefit, you know what I'm saying? Not just benefit the project, the business, the brand, etc., but benefit from being a part of the team, etc. When you can build a team and you can show the people on your team how they can benefit from this vision, the better off you're going to be. The better off your staff's going to be, the better off your brand's going to be, the better off your business is going to be. So again, be cautious when it comes to team building, staff, etc., because the jewel of the day that I had to learn this the very, very hard way is it's easy to get into a situation with somebody. It's easy to get into a contract. It's easy to, hey, I feel good. Hey, my homeboy, go into business and sign it. But it's hard to get out of one. It is hard to get out of a situation. So be mindful. Set expectations realistically when it comes to the people you're going to place on your staff, and be real with yourself. Just because that's your dog for the last 20 years, he does not necessarily need to be on the board of directors. Maybe he needs to be on marketing and promotion or something else. You know.
I was gonna add to that too. Two things. One of the things that I like to initiate with my team is always having an incentive, but not taking away from us. We are natural givers. We give a whole lot. We would like to give a whole lot for free, tuition for free, paperwork for free, but you can't give, or you will never make anything and stack it. And that has been one of the hardest, I think, things to balance is, you sit in this seat and you're able to give this, but if you give too much, it's going to take away. So what I like to do is create incentives or create opportunities around me so that other people can grow. They can benefit from the opportunity. I can benefit from the opportunity. Bartering. I bartered for years. I'll make an example. You know, if I know somebody that can do my nails, I can do their hair for free. So I'm always trying to save the amount of money that I'm putting out so that I am be able to retain how much money is coming in. I also want to maximize on people's gifts and talents around me. I might not be the best barber, guess what? But I might know somebody, and guess what? Because I have a school, this barber can come into my school. He can get paid because he's this bomb barber, and we have the place to open up the space for him to get paid. So I'm going to create an opportunity and say, hey, you take 70%, give us 30 just for hosting it, and we both walk away with something. So that has been one of the biggest blessings or success that I feel like that we've had. We might have not had the position or had the money monetarily to be able to give it away, but create an opportunity for both parties to win. Yeah. That's the mindset that you need to have with the people around you. Everybody should be able to get a bag. And if we can't get a bag, we should be able to create a bag. Somebody should be able to have a gift or a talent that they can bring into this pot. You should be able to bring your gift. We combine the two. Maybe that person got the marketing. Maybe this person got the instruction. They put it together. Before you know it, there's an extra $1,000 or $2,000 just from an idea of us bringing two places, you know, or two different ideas to the table and maximizing it to its fullest potential. So things like that, thinking outside of the box. Yeah, I might need $1,500, but if I have somebody that's talented and we have this space, that's what you need to be thinking about. Who is it around you that has the ability to maximize that creativity and take it to a monetary place? You may only be able to have the place to host it, but guess what? The person that's connected to you can facilitate. The person that's next to you over there can cook something, so they can sell dinners at this place. This person over here can do massages.
Let me add.
Go.
You getting all up in my little material. Good. All up in my little, because I want to get into that.
No, seriously.
But it's true. I want to get into this next part that's key, and then we're going to touch on that. Is marketing and promotion, and it's going to go hand in hand.
Yep.
Man, you cannot start a business if you're not willing to promote. If you're not willing to market yourself. We live in a time now where honestly, the people that are closest to us, the people that can share our content, obviously, and most times don't. Shout out to the ones that do. I've got a few people in my circle that do. But I have to be responsible for the marketing. I have to be responsible for the promotion. A lot of times we don't have the budget, right? So we got to be creative. There's a few simple ways once we get over the fact, and I got to say, once we get over the fact we have to market and promote, because I would say hands down, that's one of the reasons that a lot of businesses fail. People don't engage, and you have to engage. If you're somebody that's shy, you're introverted, if you're unable to do so, which you should be able to do if it's your business, because nobody can explain your business and present your business the way that you can, i.e., she's had the school as a thought till 2000 or since 2008. I can get up there and do my thing on a phone call, a tour, etc. But nobody can explain the vision, her vision, the way that she can explain her vision. So you have to get up there. You have to get out of your feelings. You have to get out of your bag. Stop taking time and utilizing it to doom scroll, as they say, which I do when I want to shut my brain off, and take a half hour a day and start investing that to advertising, marketing, promoting, networking, and some of the other stuff I'm about to touch in or get into. Some cheap ways, some hacks.
Let me know you get to marketing. I have a hack, marketing.
Some inexpensive ways. You can give your first hack first.
All right, I'm going to
go next.
Put up Coursera. They have free courses that you can go to and take classes. They normally have marketing classes. I'm about to share it on the screen. Give me a second, y'all. It's loading.
And we got about 20 more minutes, y'all. We're going to be up out of here. I know we already over time.
All right. So, y'all, this is Coursera.org. They have free courses, a lot of different certificates. Let me see. This one is for digital marketing and e-commerce. I believe this one is a free certificates. It says
enroll for free starts December 17th.
Enroll for free starts December 17th.
10 hours a week, 6 months.
6 months. Earn your degree. Free.
Degree credit.
Free. So this is what I'm saying. So during the pandemic, I kind of found some of these websites, and I just started, just getting on here and just putting in digital marketing. There's another one too. Data analytics, project management, put anything that you want. Just maybe even just business. There might just be a business, anything, business and financial modeling. They have plenty of classes, leadership and management. Some of these are for, you see how this one says free, advanced valuation and strategy, M&A, private equity and venture capital. This is a free course that you can come in here, you can look, you can take your notes and just get on here and just do what you need to do. Okay. I'm gonna let you get in here. I'm gonna stop sharing. Okay. Coursera.org. Can't see it. Can you spell it in the chat? Yes.
All right. You got any more before I get into
No.
it? All right. So she just broke down Coursera. Coursera is an amazing tool. It's a learning tool. My favorite learning tool is YouTube, because maybe you're somebody that says, I don't have 10 hours a week for 6 months, and you got 3 minutes. YouTube, Shorts, YouTube, TikTok, research. You don't have to invent the wheel or invent the wheel. You can reinvent it. You can do what somebody's already done, add to it, take away from it, make it yours. First and foremost, social media. We know that this world is driven by social media. 2023 going into 2024, social media heavy. So you should be engaging on all social media platforms if you have a business. And you should also know the difference between the platforms, or one of the biggest differences when you're on these platforms. Step one is Facebook. And the first platform is Facebook. And I want to be clear, you can't limit yourself, guys. Sometimes I see people, they only advertise their business in one place, and I can assure you, you need to be seen as many places as possible, so you have as many opportunities as possible to get clients, customers, etc. So Facebook is good. Facebook, you can utilize your private page, which you should. You should be creating a page, an actual business page for your business, or a group, depending on the type of business you have. If you have the opportunity to educate and engage people when it comes to your business, Facebook is a great opportunity, a great platform to do so. It's a great way to connect to people with your business. And typically, the Facebook audience tends to be a little bit older. It's a little bit of an older audience. That's one of the biggest differences we've seen. And when I say personal Facebook, you should be utilizing all your personal social medias to advertise your businesses. If you are somebody that's worried about how your IG page looks because you're going to put a flyer up about your business, then you shouldn't be in business. You're tripping. Anytime you have an opportunity, if you got 16 Facebook pages, guess what? That's a potential 16 different places they can see you on Facebook. But on your personal pages, aside from posting your business information, etc., I cannot stress the importance of cleaning up your reputation online, cleaning up your digital fingerprint. One of the biggest things that I've seen has hindered some of the people, that I rock with. We've already had conversations. They got this great business on the side, but when you look up their personal page, man, they are wilding. They up there drinking, smoking, doing whatever they doing, throwing their hood up. Nobody wants to do business with that person. And 9 times out of 10, if it's somebody that's about their business, they're going to do their research. They're not just going to look up your business page. I am one of those people. Not only am I going to look up your business page, I'm going to look up if you're the founder or you're on it, I'm going to look up your personal page. I just want to see who I'm doing business with on a personal level. And of course, that transfers into when you're getting hired into certain positions, etc. Be very aware of your online or your digital fingerprint or your digital footprint. People are paying attention, and you are as much of your business as your business is. So that's step one. Instagram. We said Facebook's for an older audience. We said you can do personal pages for your business groups, etc. Instagram is for a younger audience. It's more visual driven. It's for your short clips. It's visual representation. It's how can I get an individual's attention quick, because there's not enough room for dialogue on IG. There is. People go live. That's another way you can engage. We're live right now on one of the platforms for Life Unit on IG right now. But we're actually streaming like 4 different places right now, which I'm going to get into how we do that. IG is a great place to do short advertisements, reels. And again, you can use your IG lives to engage what I would say is a slightly younger audience. And again, it's visually driven. Depending on what you're presenting for your business, you got to make it pop. You got to make somebody not only just see you, but want to stick around on your page. Click that link, go into your bio, visit your website. And a lot of time that first picture or whatever it is in regards to your business on IG, that's your calling card. That's their first impression. And that's going to dictate and determine whether somebody's going to head to your business or not. So again, IG is a powerful tool. TikTok. I love TikTok. Found a lot of success on TikTok myself. TikTok is now the #1 search engine, unless that changed in the last couple of weeks. It's the #1 search engine in the world. It surpassed Google. Do not underestimate the power of TikTok. We are in 2023 going into 2024. If you have the opportunity to create short form content, whatever it is, get videos, clips, anything pertaining to your business, TikTok is the place to be. And they also have a cool feature called TikTok Shop, where you can shop your products if you have physical products, tangible, right there on there. It's another way to get, your product exposed and more finances in the building. I want to talk about some quick, like online or some digital tools really quick because right now I just mentioned we're streaming on Facebook, IG, and we could have been streaming on Twitter or X now, but I bypassed that. One of the tools I use is StreamYard. If you have a business where it calls for you to engage, educate, etc., you can utilize StreamYard. It's basically a platform that you can do a monthly subscription, and it allows you to stream content in multiple places at the same time. and therefore reach a wider audience, because we all know, depending on the platform, it's going to be different audiences, different people, because certain people only use certain platforms, etc. When I speak about multiplicity of content or content exposure when it comes to your business, I want to be clear. You should be in the same clip or wherever you're posting and posting it on all three major platforms and any other platform you want to be a part of. What you looking for?
I'm posting it.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
You good.
So make sure you're posting. Make sure you're using that same clip as many times as possible. It should be used on your page, your story. It should be utilized everywhere that you need it to be. And again, don't be scared to use those pieces of content more than once. And the last piece I would say, that just, I guess, last little tidbit when it comes to social media and managing things. People are so concerned with the algorithm and trying to chase the algorithm. One way not to worry about chasing the algorithm is to post all the time. If you have an opportunity to post 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, 5 minutes in the evening, do that. Take the opportunity to do that. That one post can lead you to the biggest clients of your life. Don't underestimate it, and make sure you utilize it well. The next thing outside of social media, as she's continuing to put these links up here, if you guys want to utilize them, is engage. Depending upon what sector or field or lane that your business is in, make sure that you're going to events. Make sure that you're having conversations. Make sure that you're dialoguing with people in the same lane, same industry, that you're having an opportunity to learn, expose your brand, and also engage with other brands. April was just touching on the teamwork aspect, or what I call the networking aspect. Your business is only going to be successful as the network it creates for itself. One of the things we do at the school, we're big on community engagement. We find ways to connect with other businesses in the community. We find ways to give back by partnering with nonprofits. We find ways to support events in the community. We make sure we establish ourselves in the community. We make sure that we engage not just with these bigger organizations, but the smaller ones, because though all business is big business, we're a smaller school ourselves. And I'm going to tell you something. There's something special when you can meet somebody, quote unquote, on that bottom rung, and you guys start climbing to the top together. We've seen it. More resources are available. We're able to help each other in different ways, open doors for other people. So again, networking is key. If you have a business, you got to get out. You got to grind. You got to make cold calls. You got to shoot emails out there. You got to do a lot of work that sometimes it's not going to come back, the way that you want it to. Yeah. You're going to have to do a lot of networking that might not necessarily lead to results. But again, you're just seeking that one time or that one opportunity where things start to shift. So network. If you're in business, if you have a business, it is imperative that you get out of that introverted mode and you find a way to get out there, extend your hand, look somebody in the eye, have a conversation with them, and present to them exactly who you are, what your business is, what it's about, and asking them in that same breath, how can we complement each other? Some of our greatest successes have came from teamwork, networking, getting with other entrepreneurs, putting our resources together, and reaching the goals together that we needed to. The next thing, and I'm getting into some of these points fairly quickly, is something that needs to be considered is growing your business forward. You need to be anticipating when you open your business or you're visualizing your business, you're putting together your business plan, a 1, 3, and 5 year plan. Where is your business going? If you can't see your business going to a certain place, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to go there. Does the plan always get executed the way we draw it up? No, it doesn't.
Hecky no.
But you should have a destination in mind, at least. Does our destination change at times? Yes. But you should have a destination in place. You should have an idea where you're going. So in order to go there, if I know my business is in one place in 2023 and I want it to be in a certain place by 2026, what is it that it's going to take? What do I need to do in order to accomplish to grow my business forward? Financially, manpower, etc. It could be logistically. It could be I need more space. It could be I want a new location, whatever it is. but what is going to be the necessity or the needs when it comes to growing my business forward, and how can I reach the anticipated goals when it comes to my 1, 3, and 5 year
How
markers.
you gonna get there?
How you gonna get there? My last two, as I'm bringing it to a close, is, and I can't stress this enough, April already touched on this, really, is continuing to research state and local law when it comes to your business. Things change, and not only that, IRS, government law, just research. Never be one of those people that disengages with the legal process when it comes to your business. Be somebody that's upfront and engaged so you can't get caught off guard. Ignorance is not justification to going against the law or breaking the law.
That's what they're gonna say.
That's what they're gonna say every time. And then they're gonna find
say,
you.
I didn't know.
They're gonna
say, well, you should have known.
You had the opportunity to know.
Right.
So know the websites. She showed you something that you should be navigating. If it's sos.gov, of course, for your state, you can, look into specifically how your business should be ran, or if you need, more local questions, get into your city or your city planner, or what is it? Clerk of court? No, not clerk of courts.
It's the Secretary of State.
Excuse me, Secretary of State, to get any planning information, ask specific questions, etc. Again, stay up on it. Allot yourself time. Just go into it saying, every February for a week, I'm going to sit down. I'm just going to get on the state board website, and I'm going to do some research and just see if anything's changed. Be ahead of the curve. I can't stress that enough. We learned that lesson ourselves. The next one is, and I can't stress this, this is actually the last one. Before you even start business, I have to always say this. Before you even start a business, plan, before you're looking into investment, before you're looking to take that first step, know and understand that you have to do good business in order to be successful. I will tell you that wholeheartedly, what I've learned. Opportunities will come your way to do business not the right way. There's going to be plenty of people around you that operate outside of what should be done, outside of law, etc. You're going to be tested. You're going to be tried on this journey. You're just going to have those moments of up and down. But I just want to encourage everyone and anyone, if you're going to get into business, to do business right at all times. Obviously, one, you're in legal standing. That's step one. No matter what happens, it can't get no worse because you're in legal standing. But two, when you run your business in a good way, you're able to be transparent and you're able to present something different to people. Any business that we've been a part of that's been successful, we've been able to engage with people from a very sincere space because we're transparent. We operate with good cause. So that's not necessarily, what you need to know to start business. But man, I can't stress it enough. Don't be one of the individuals that thinks they're going to get into business, take shortcuts, rob Peter to pay Paul, or do this so I can do. No, take the right way. It's going to be hard. But once you start, reaching certain levels, you don't have to necessarily worry about going back to a certain place, as long as you keep being consistent and disciplined and making the right decisions. Man, we ran over for an hour and a half. Again,
I did want to touch on something before you close it out.
I'm about to close and pass it to you so you can close it out.
Okay.
No problem at all. I'm about to shut my mouth out. But we went over about a half hour. We didn't want to keep it to about an hour, guys. We thank y'all for sticking up here. I just want to say thank you. Please share this.
I hope it helps. I really do.
Yeah. Share this to anybody that you think it may help. Hopefully it helps each and every one of you. And that's really it. We'll be up here with different topics. If there's topics you want us to speak specifically on, please contact us via the email. Let me bring that up right now. The lifeunitinc@gmail.com. Yes, we are a 501c3. But on a professional side, we do offer business and consulting services. Yeah. So we don't mind answering questions, but if you're looking for something more in depth, like a mentor or coach, you can contact us about that as well. And that's it. That was my little spiel. I'm about to get out the way so you can say, I know you had some more information.
Yes,
and then close out.
I just wanted to speak on this last piece and I'm done. Reputation. Chris, he spoke a little bit about it, but let me tell y'all need to surround yourself with people that have good working reputations. I'm not saying this in no negative way. I'm just going to speak on what I know. So my lead instructor, beautiful person. Everywhere she goes, she has a great reputation.
Shout out to Ms.
Anybody, shout out to Miss Laura. Anytime somebody comes into our building that previously knows her, and that's probably happened, I don't know, maybe 30% of the time that we've been open, she has a reputation that precedes her. Mm-hmm. So anytime somebody sees her, I know that they're going to be welcomed. It's going to be warm. No one has anything to say because her reputation precedes her. I am really big on paperwork being right and having a good reputation and good standing to do good business. Anybody that I've ever received a key from, I made sure I always gave a key back. It's just certain business standards and practices I feel like just need to be set in stone. You have to have a good reputation. It's the best thing to do is to have a good reputation. So I would say just trust it and guard it with all your heart and your life for your business. Do not attach yourself with somebody that does not have a good reputation. That's all I'm gonna say. I just had to say that one piece because you want to be surrounded by people that their reputation precedes them and what they're saying out of their mouth is just that. So it does not tarnish your brand and it doesn't tarnish your business. So whoever you are linking with, whoever you are connecting with your entity, please make sure that the reputation precedes them. And if you have not done your due diligence, if you have not done your research, we just went to an event, walked right in, the person knew who he was. He said, oh, I went to your website so I can know how you look. People are looking at you, regardless if you want to put yourself in the forefront or not. If you have anything on social media, they can look it up. They gonna look it up. And quiet as it's kept, I want people to be looking to see what we have going on when we go in a room and we walk in a room because they'll already know, who we're about. People are going to do that. And I'm glad that we have a great reputation, but you have to guard that. And that means surrounding yourself with people that are going to be about your vision, that want to help cultivate the vision, that want to help see the vision push through to a good end. So you have to surround yourself with the right people. It's just what it is. Please. It's so imperative. Because I done had people walk through my door that have a bad reputation. Mm-hmm. And it's just, and you get the red flags. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you want to connect yourself, build your vision with people that are going to take it to the next level. Man, it's just about doing good business. Yeah. I want people, when they hear the name and when they hear the brand, oh man, she good. I can go in any place. I'm good.
Yeah. It's hard to clean up your reputation once it's gone in business or in your personal life, And
I learned that the hard way. And the only reason I'm really speaking on this right now is because I just went through a situation as a business owner where I had a decision to make. I can be transparent, tell it the whole truth and risk losing everything, or I could lie and I can try to get away with it and try to cover it up
and still risk
everything and hope that I'm still going to be able to stand. I took the harder path and speed up to today. We had 28 graduates a week ago. So, but it could have went the other way. I could have held on to it, said, I'm not going to tell the truth. I'm just going to walk in this. And if something happened, I'm going to take my chance and that's going to be that. I decided not to do that. And I'm so happy I did because everything could have been taken because I wanted to misstep or I wanted to backdoor or go around, try to avoid. It's certain stuff you're just not going to avoid in business. And I had to learn the hard way. It was the hardest lesson that I've ever had to endure or even go through. I'm telling you. And I thought I was going to lose my mind. I was crying. I lost weight. It was crazy. But in the end, me being honest in business got me the win so I can move and go further versus taking a chance on not getting caught and risking everything to have nothing. And that's what I didn't want.
Operate in righteousness. That's it. Keep
yourself
safe. Keep your business safe. Know that it's a marathon and not a sprint. So sometimes you can't take the short answer. You got to take the hard route.
And it was a mistake that I had personally made in business. So this wasn't like it was something that was overlooked. It was something that could not.
It was great times. It was great times.
It was tough.
But I think, you know, for me, I spoke at the graduation, and then we get up.
Yeah.
In the midst of your trial and adversity, that's when you get an opportunity to display who you are. If you're a righteous individual, if you do business well, if you're somebody that's consistent with what you bring to the table, you need those moments to display the actual value of who you are and the value of who your business is, the vision. And not only that, it shows people what you're really fighting for and why you're fighting hard. So shout out to you. She did a post about accountability and leadership. It's major. If you're not one that's accountable, it's going to be hard to be the CEO or boss of a business. I say it all the time. On paper for the school, I'm the executive director. She's the director of operations, but she runs the school. So I got to salute her. I'm just here to back everybody up. We're here to back y'all up. That's it. Oh, get married people that are smart. That's my last. that's my last cheat code. No, but hopefully y'all got something good from it, man. We appreciate y'all.
I hope y'all did for real. For real.
We'll be back up here with more informative information like this, stuff that can help you guys.
Yeah, and if you want to know about, how to just certain entities, if you have a question, you can always shoot me an email, april.willers at lastinglayersofbeauty.com. You can shoot an email to support@lastinglayersofbeauty.com.
I think, you know what? We're just going to keep it simple.
The Life Unit Inc.
Any questions pertaining to anything y'all see, because we got 17 different businesses, 14 different brands, 13 different emails. Any information y'all may want, like I said, questions you may have, we definitely don't mind answering some questions. You can email us at the Life Unit Inc. You can DM myself or the Life Unit Inc. page, etc. And again, if you're looking for something more in depth like coaching or mentoring services, we do that as well. We're grateful for the opportunity, because a mentor is nothing more than somebody that messed up a bunch of times and can tell you what not to do because they did it already.
That's it.
So that's it, man. Life Unit Inc. We out. Hey, big opportunities in Virginia. Second chance bill, etc. Free Jefferson Ellie. Continue to fight for it, guys. And think about the people that are in need this season. Holiday season's tough. And don't forget to check on the strongest people y'all know in your circle, man. Let's continue to educate, inspire, uplift.
And thank you to everybody for all the positive messages. I've been seeing them all. Thank y'all for popping in. On all the chats. Thank you to everybody. I see a lot of names. But thank you to each and every one. I appreciate y'all for tuning in.
For sure. All right, y'all. We about to get into the rest of our Sunday evening, so we get into our Monday morning, man. Y'all be safe, be progressive. Keep doing what y'all do.
Peace.
Peace.